back out on the street with no resources at all, and then having the resort to like jacking someone's car or fucking or fucking doing drugs again because they're unhappy or like stealing from the till or like selling drugs or whatever.
What about if they, which they're not going to do, but what about if they did the mental health and drug treatment programs for the people that need it, right? And other programs for other people that, like welding and stuff like that.
Well, that's what they're saying they're doing.
Wait a second. Certify them, right? And then get them out so they can get a job. Because what happens, you got people that are in prison, they parole out, they go, yeah, I just got out of prison, no one wants to hire them. So they sit on welfare, their morale goes down, they sit there and say, hey, you know, I'm riding a bicycle, that dude's riding a Mercedes. So he goes and robs that dude for his Mercedes, and then he goes back.
And that's exactly what the prison administration wants to have set up in prison so that it continues this whole thing.
Right.
That's what our politicians want with their stupid little...
Republican and Democrat.
Yeah, I know. Republican and Democrat. Yeah, both of them.
The prison system is the biggest slave trade in this country. Because prisoners don't make any money working in those prisons. They don't make any at all.
And what does Van Jones do? He gets on TV and does his little dance. Oh, like I'm bringing the Republicans and Democrats together with this little bullshit First Step Back reform. Like, all they've done is made federal prison now like state. What we don't want to do.
No, we don't. You want to keep the separation between states and the feds.
Yeah, I know a lot of good cops. I have a friend that's a detective that fucking busts like little fucking pedophile rings and shit like that. He's a good dude, and I know a lot of good cops that are just like him that have integrity. But you know, I have a friend that has a quote. He says, "You don't drive the bread truck to the concentration camp." You know,
right?
Like, if you're complicit in all this, like if you're a cop that's okay with all this shit, yet you're part of the fraternity or whatever, you're part of the problem.
Exactly. That's what Cop Watch says. That's what Film the Police say. Is that if you're out there...
Is he really a cop watcher, though? I mean, he's sitting there fucking videotaping them pulling people over or, like, what, like, with their guns or whatever. Like, what does that do? Like be a whistleblower if you're going to be one, you know?
So I have a question, though. What does any of this have to do with Trump? Because these problems have existed before Trump, like with the prison system. Like, seriously, they've been around for decades.
Well, I'm aware of that.
So what does Trump have to do with any of that?
Because when you're passing, like, little peanut, when you're tossing peanut, like, criminal justice reform and saying, oh, it's sweeping reform, and, like, you're putting on a whole, like, that's what Hitler did. You know what I mean?
I mean,
like,
then again, so have, like, pretty much almost every politician ever in the U.S. history.
I know. Well, why are we backing?
Well, again, why is it Trump then that's compared to Hitler? Not all of them, every single one.
Because when you're sitting here saying, oh, it's sweeping reform and everyone's buying it, like oh, this guy's...
Every single one.
Yeah.
So then what's the problem?
That means every politician.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Except Bernie Sanders.
No,
he's sold out.
Bernie Sanders
He
is
kissed
not.
the ring of Hillary Clinton.
He did.
Everything we're against.
2016.
Bernie Sanders is not.
He kissed Hillary's
He
ring.
endorsed Hillary.
Yeah,
could you endorse
if Bernie,
After they fucked him over and he knew it.
The only reason that people do that is because when we have bipartisanship and we have no choice, like you're gonna try to push the candidate that will beat the opposing side. That's the point.
Okay.
Everyone sold out Bernie Sanders. What do I like about him?
What do you like about him?
Everything. He's anti-war.
Question.
He's
Did
pro.
Hitler pass any prison reforms at all, period?
No, he started the...
Then what the hell does that have to do with Trump or with any other president?
Because when you're...
Especially if Trump's the one that's actually passing at least even a little bit of prison reform. How can he be compared to Hitler because of that?
Well, I mean, Hitler was an orator, and like he had a way of talking and convincing people of all this great stuff.
It's populism. Trump and Bernie both do the same thing.
Yeah. Can we both agree to the same thing as far as the politicians go?
I want to answer his question about Bernie Sanders because he is pro a lot of things, he's pro people for one. He wants to actually tax the rich. He's pro. He's pro union. That's a good thing. That's one. Like we need more like good unions. He's pro. He's pro. You know, like
Free medicine.
yeah, exactly.
Just take it out of my pocket right now. Pick up the money.
Like since he wants to dismantle the 1%, he wants to tax the rich so much. Should we take away one of his 4 homes and redistribute that?
Does he have 4 homes or 2?
He has 4.
Okay, so what?
But he's part of the rich. He's claiming that the 1% are so evil and greedy, but he's buying all these homes. I believe even him and his wife were indicted for.
He sold a book and he's getting like royalties. Like he's not pushing policy that's like benefiting him. You know what I mean? No, he's what policy?
Socialism. Socialism only promotes
Dude, that's
the rich.
such a scare word, man. Like socialism, like dude.
But it is. Do you know what's going on in Venezuela?
Even if Bernie Sanders was doing the right thing and he took over, the problem is someone's going to come behind him, and the government's going to be so big that it's going to have too much power to the elite. That's the problem. See, the problem is the big corporations have too much money and they always buy out politicians. Even if you mean well, you create a government.
I don't think Bernie Sanders can be bought.
But the problem is politicians, 99% of politicians get bought out every single time, right? So the fact is government always gets corrupted. So you have to keep government as small as possible.
That's what Bernie wants to do.
No. Every single time you increase the size of taxes, you increase more regulations, you increase more laws, that's making the government more powerful. And what happens when your government is owned by hold on, give me 1 second. When the government is owned by the elitists, right? Every single regulation and law they pass is to help out the big banks, the big pharma, the big corporations, all of them. Why not? If they own the government. And the truth is the elitists will always own the government. That's why we have to keep the government small, because the government is the strong arm for the elitists.
I know, and that's what Bernie Sanders wants to do. He wants to tax them.
No. So every single time you increase the taxing power of the government, right? They put loopholes in there, and then the rich get away from it, and it holds the rest of us down. When you tax, the more you tax.
Okay, so you're saying that if we tax Amazon or whatever 70% rather than what is it 1% or 0%?
No, they're at 0% because of the loopholes. They should just pay.
That all that money couldn't go towards good programs for people that we've just been
Why
talking
can't the
about.
communities provide that though? If you have small government and where the community is together, where they can provide that.
The biggest taxpayers are small business. That's the thing, and they employ the most people. So let's just let small business rise up. Stop with the regulations and the taxes on small business, which means big business will get some freedom too.
That's great that small businesses. We should. Yeah,
But they're
not everybody owns it.
Social.
What's that?
Not everybody owns the same business.
Welfare.
Right, but small
Talking about
businesses.
ordinary people that are working for this small business. That's the larger percentage.
Right, but I'm saying the more small
Okay,
business is free, the more they can grow, the more they can hire. And the easier it is to start a business, the more people like us can start businesses. But right now, the big corporations made it so hard. They pass all these regulations to hold us down at the bottom. What the big corporations are afraid of, they're not afraid of the government because they own the government. They're afraid of competition because they can't control competition. When other companies rise up, it brings prices down and it helps normal people. But every single time the government comes in and regulates, take rent regulations, stuff like that. All they do, they pass taxes on these tenants. All they do is pass it over to the people renting, and it increases the cost of rent. Same thing with property taxes. The cost of living is so high.
So you're trying to say that trickle-down economics, like cutting all the taxes for corporations, is helping everybody?
When
No,
you
no.
cut
What I'm
taxes
saying is
for
they need to pay
everybody,
their fair share.
corporations, you have more money to
Everyone
spend.
pays the same amount. Or we can go to an excise tax. So no one gets taxed. You only get taxed a small percentage when you go buy stuff. That's it. So you don't ever have to report anything. The government doesn't know how much money you make, but everybody gets taxed the same amount. Because if you're rich, you're going to spend billions of dollars, right? And you can't avoid the taxes. You can't even send it on. You can't hide your money. Because every single time you buy something, it even taxes drug dealers. Every single time they buy something, they have to pay their fair share. To me, that's the key. If we just had an excise tax, then there'd be no IRS. And then they can't target people based off of their political ideology. And it's one less government institution. For me, I just want, for me, and whether I'm right or wrong, just understand where I am, I want the people to be powerful. That's it. That's why I'm for gun rights. That's what keeps the elitists in check. The second we lose our Second Amendment, they're going to do whatever the fuck they want.
So I see a lot of bitter rivalry here between them and you guys all the time. What's the point of attacking them then?
I don't ever attack them. They attack me.
Well, I've seen a lot of videos of like Proud Boys and fucking Patriot Prayer.
So when we have rallies, they come down to be violent. They want to try to run us out of the town. And that's not okay. So yeah, people fight back. I don't. I take beatings all the time, preferably to get on camera, but so I can show the world. No, I'm serious. Like, I do it so people can see. Like, I'll walk around with my hands up and they'll beat the shit out of me. Spit in my face.
I've seen video footage, and it just looks like it's the same on both sides. I mean, like, for instance, what about that one dude? Okay, yeah, he grabbed the guy's phone or whatever and broke it, but then what did they do? Like,
that was
right, and they held, like, sure, hold him accountable, but I mean, they beat the fucking shit out of that guy first.
Yeah, he did pull out a knife too. But I agree. There's been a lot of bad things on both sides, and so I stopped bringing in a bunch of people into Portland, and now I just come in and do stuff like this, a small group, and go to events like this, have conversations, and then it's less intimidating, you know, and it shows that.
So what's your problem with what they're doing?
Nothing. My problem is the guys with the masks on who run around and try to divide. Do you see how they're trying to divide me with everybody? And did you see the guy try to stop you from talking to me? Why do you think that is? They don't want this.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Antifa at all. I think a lot of them are dumbasses. I got one friend here that I like what he does.
I'm sure there's some good ones in there.
Yeah, there's a few. I don't really know anybody, but
liberals call me.
But I think
ask me for help. You understand that, right? Because a lot of these guys show up to these events and they start harassing and they start taking over. They took over ICE Occupy. ICE Occupy was started by normal liberals. Then Antifa showed up and they started enforcing their rules. No cameras. Can't talk to the police. They started taking over. People started leaving. Families
They treated immigration and customs, built the wall.
Yeah, they built the wall.
They made it come out. You people in the neighborhood. The neighborhood fought back.
They started harassing the local businesses. They started harassing people walking by. So liberals call me because they're not getting help from the police. They're not getting help from the mayor.
When they took over down there, they became everything that they were.
So we showed up and just started demasking. When we showed up to ICE finally, the mayor the next day said, "Okay, we're shutting it down." He was freaking out.
Yeah. Can we agree?
I mean, because I'm a liberal, but like,
It's okay to be.
but I know it is. But I'm not for it gives us a bad rep when people are breaking fucking windows out and doing all that dumb shit. Like, why are they not doing something differently than that? There's plenty of other ways to go about it. Doesn't, like, what I mean, they have millions of dollars to just replace the window. Just wasted efforts and
Just bad optics.
Can we agree to disagree on something?
I'm always down to disagree.
Okay.
Agree to disagree. Like,
Okay.
that's my MO, bro.
My belief is out of the 30-something people that ran for president, we got two of the worst.
Yeah, I know.
So that's my personal opinion. We got two of the worst out of all of them that we had.
Sorry I called you a bitch. I'm just fucking around. Yeah, it gets people's attention, doesn't it?
And I have a stepdaughter that was deported a couple of years ago.
You did?
Yeah. Huh?
Why?
Because her husband called her a bitch and she beat him up.
She's from where?
Mexico.
So, yeah, I mean, this whole fucking ICE shit is just bullshit, though.
And I'm totally against them separating families.
Down to the size. You guys want to ice building, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm just here to talk to a friend. All right.
All right, I'm going to head out with these guys. Otherwise, these other guys are going to jump me.
All right. What's your name?
Bob.
Bob, nice to meet you. Josh.
All right. Yeah, and I'm a cop watcher, and I do a lot more than what like, for instance, if something happened, like, say your sister was raped, right? I'm not going to videotape the conversation between me and your sister. I'm going to turn the camera off, and I'm going to give her resources. If an officer beats someone up or does something wrong to someone, I help them with a complaint. I turn the camera off and help them with a complaint. Because their personal information is their personal information.
Right.
And it shouldn't be shared with anyone. So we also do a lot of that.
Okay. Cool.
I've sent my videos
Your name
to
is
Bob, but I'm under Robert West. I've sent videos to public defenders. I got a dude that was beat up by the cops off, and he won a lawsuit in Seattle. So,
okay.
so you have a good day.
All right, man.